Well, hi there, everybody. It's Noreen from Organized and Creative Mom, and this weekend I'm doing some wrapping of Christmas gifts, and I realized I didn't have any tags. So, what to do? Of course, we can go ahead and DIY some ourselves. And I couldn't resist creating some of these fun little gnome tags, and they are super easy to make using some Creative Memories tools and the little scraps I had left over from the Joy to the World collection. So let me show you how to make this. So what we're going to need for each tag is a tag base, and I've cut mine to 2.5 inches wide by 4 inches long, but again, you can cut to whatever size you like. You might like a little bit longer tag, for example. And then we need 2 pieces of paper, and these are going to be the tag layers. And each of these is 2 inches wide by 4 inches long. Now you're also going to need a small piece of cardstock or another subtle pattern paper. That's going to be for our little gnome's beard. And then I've just got another piece of that same paper that I'm going to use for the tag, and I'm going to cut out my little gnome hat from this side. Now to create it, we're going to need a few tools. So first of all, we're going to need our tag punch. Now this is the 3-in-1 bevel tag punch, and it punches tags at 1 inch. See if you can see that, 1 inch, 2 inches, and 2.5 inches. So that is why our tag base is 2.5 inches wide and our tag layers are 2 inches wide. You might have the older 3-in-1 scallop punch, very similar, just a little bit different shape. And again, that will also punch 1 inch, 2 inch, and 2.5 inch tags. If you don't have a tag punch, you can always simply just round the corners of your tag base and layers and then use a hole punch to make your tag. Now we're also going to need something to make that cute little gnome beard. So I have the spring leaf punch, and I think you can see that that sort of jagged, irregular edge of the leaf is going to make our perfect little beard for our gnome. And the final thing you're going to need is something to create some small circles for the end of our little gnome's hat and his nose. So I've pulled out an old 4-in-1 corner punch from Creative Memories, and I'm going to use those 2 circles there. If you don't have that, you could probably find a little circle punch or even a hole punch. If you have a regular size hole punch, that will work too. So that's really all we're going to need for each of our tags. And again, I think you can see that you can use up lots of scraps if you have the right tools. You might also need, some ribbon or twine, and that's really about it. So let's get started here. So first of all, we're going to make the base for our tag. So we're going to take our 2.5 by 4 inch piece, and we're just going to slide it into our 3-in-1 tag punch and punch it. And you can see it comes out great. A little bit of waste there. And the nice thing about this, you don't have to do anything special. All you have to do is put your 1 inch, your 2 inch, or your 2.5 inch piece in to the base of the tag punch, and it's going to do the work for you. So I'm going to go ahead and punch my 2 tag layers at the same time. They're just patterned paper, so I can do 2 punches at once. And you can see how they just fit into that little 2-inch space. So now I've got my 2 tag layers. Just going to go ahead and adhere them. And I like to use a more neutral pattern for my layers, just so that I can write a note on the back of the tag, and so my little gnome will show up. So that's our tag all done. Let's go ahead and make his little beard using the spring leaf punch. I'm just using a little scrap piece of white cardstock. And that's really all there is to it. I'll attach that just with a little bit of repositionable adhesive. And then because the spring leaf that gets punched out is about 1.25 inches at the widest spot, I'm just going to trim down my little piece of scrap paper to, about 1 inch, maybe just slightly more than 1.25 inches. And again, it's just a really small little scrap piece. And I'm just going to create kind of a tall rectangle just with my scissors. And I'm going to fold one part of it over. Okay, so let's attach that with some regular tape runner adhesive. So all we have left to do is add a little nose and a little pom-pom to his hat. And I'm actually going to use this little hole punch and just punch out a couple of circles from some scrap navy cardstock. And when I attach those, our little gnome is pretty much done. So now I can go ahead and write on the back with my dual tip pen, to and from, and a little sentiment. I like this sort of plaid paper because it gives me some lines that I can write on as well. And then all I need to do is add some twine so that I can attach it to the gift. And that's really it. So here's the one we made together, and here's a couple of other ones. You can see on this one that I actually used some cardstock instead of other pattern paper. And again, just, you know, added different types of twine and ribbon to it. But they're both super cute and super fast, and I can write my message right on the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some more of these fun little gnome tags, and my packages are going to look beautiful for Christmas. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.